Talk about that. Look at what's going on with Puff Daddy right now.
I mean, it's warranted. I mean, baby, how do somebody who never wrote a song, produced a record, got all the money?
That's real. Boy, that's real. Bars.
Because somebody facilitated you to be able to have all the control on. And if you ain't got the talent and you can't write it, you can't produce it, then you got to use something else. It's called sex.
Damn.
That's how you control. That's old. That's the old world. But if think about it, a person that don't got the talent is gonna be more demonic, more evil, and more heartless when it comes to taking something from somebody because they can't produce nothing.
That's real.
They had a recording of Meek and Diddy
making love.
I don't know if it was love.
Okay, you have it. Let's hear it. What? Yo, wait a minute. Wait.
You didn't hear this?
No.
Now, Miran, what does that sound authentic?
Play it for him
Absolutely.
again.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just really give it a good listen.
People want to make it. They want to make it so badly. You get these vulnerable people. Parents are letting you do this because they want to make it so badly.
Yeah.
And then you record them probably and say, if you do anything, we got this on you.
David Ogilvy, otherwise known as the GOAT of advertising. His multi-million-dollar campaigns convert decades.
YouTube chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, Chicks.
Salute to Chicks Smooth.
Hey, Chicks Smooth. Appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
We have officially entered the Rap Royal Rumble. Now, earlier this morning, Meek went on a tirade attacking Wale and also Dean. If you guys haven't watched that video, make sure you guys go check it out. But Meek was not too happy to see Wale, his label mate, hanging out, kicking it at the strip club with his op, Dean. Now, Dean is Meek Mill's childhood ex-best friend. Dean has gone on interviews with academics to try to expose Meek, so you can kind of understand why Meek would feel away, obviously not condoning going on a Twitter rant about it. After Meek Mill threatened Wale and called him out to fight, Dean responds back to him. He says, Meek, calm your sassy down. Me or Wale had nothing bad to say about you. We don't even speak on you. You ain't nobody, motherfucker. Calm down. Y'all laughing, but it really ain't funny. I see my childhood friend struggling with his mental health at the same time abusing drugs. He really needs help. When y'all see him, give him a hug. Me or Wale had nothing bad to say about you. We don't even speak on you. You ain't nobody, motherfucker. Calm down. Y'all laughing, but it really ain't funny. I see my childhood friend struggling with his mental health at the same time abusing drugs. He really needs help. When y'all see him, give him a hug and tell him it'll be okay. And then he tells Meek, yo, get off Twitter and go find peace. Now, you guys knew Wale was not going to get out of character. He also chose a very diplomatic approach to respond back to Meek as well. He said, when you and other people unserious drama in this industry, 90% of the time, they be back friends, eventually. And then you look silly in the end. So I love minding my business. If a photo can create such vitriol, one has to ask himself some questions. Happy Monday. So that's basically Wale telling Meek, brother, I am not choosing sides in your beef. I'm sure one day you guys are gonna end up being cool again. I ain't trying to look stupid. And if a picture of me and somebody else makes you that angry that you're getting out of character, you might want to look into the mirror. Now, you guys know Meek would not let this slide. He responded back to Wale saying, yo, I ignored this because if this was true, you would be in danger. But now I see you around guys that's on full Meek campaigns. I get you. I wouldn't have dapped you and made you uncomfortable around my family the other day. That's why you try to post Mike, but hate me. Now, for those of you guys that are wondering, the video that Meek is talking about is a video of Ant Gleazy doing an interview with academics where he tells a story of when Wale tried to backdoor and also allegedly set up Meek. Meek continues, I'm on to you. When I seen you Fashion Week, you was drunk speaking on rappers with 200 models in the room. Meek, you're doing it again. This is kind of dry snitching. You don't know if that man got a lady at home. And this is kind of what you did to Safari, Meek. Your energy was off. Let me know so we can solve this immediately if you feel a way about something. If I call Glizzy and he said yeah, that's a different level of danger I have to assess with you. I just didn't ask because I'm more developed and I know you a hoe. But believe if I find out any of this is true, I'm on you. Once again, referring to that video of Aunt Glizzy talking about Wale was trying to set up Meek. That's why the rap game screwed. A lot of niggas be having secret jealous vibes. You can't do songs or tours with them. He's always been jealous of me, but trying to link with Meek haters intentionally. Wale killed all his relationships. Don't come around again with bad energy. And then here goes the classic old Meek move. You guys remember he did the same thing to Cruz, his engineer. When Meek said, yo, when I met Cruz, he was a store runner. Meek says, yo, when I met Wale, he got beat up at his birthday party in DC, got his teeth knocked out. I jumped in because a celebrity like him invited me. I was violating probation in DC, risked my life to find out he never liked me will make you angry. That's just me though. And this was before phones came out. I went with young Chris, only me, Coon, and Matt jumped in. I stayed quiet, but as soon as he got around me, my aura made this demon shake. I tried to be cool with this lame for Ross's business. I would have been tweeted him. So there you guys go. In case anybody was curious about the status of Meek and Wale's relationship, it was all business. They pretty much did it for the sake of Ross and MMG. I personally don't think Meek should have gone that hard. Wale didn't really say much. He just told him, bro, I'm not trying to get in between. You didn't have to go out and tell the entire world I got beat up at my birthday party years ago, Meek. And you got to look at it this way. What are other rappers that hang around Meek thinking? So if we fall out, or if you catch me in a picture with somebody that doesn't like you, now you're going to start to expose my secrets? There's no way Meek thinks this can be helpful. You guys get in the comments below. Tell me what you guys think about Wale and Dean's response back to Meek. And tell me what you guys think about Meek's response back to Wale. Post your comments below. Subscribe to my channel, like this video. I'll see you guys later, man.
Hey guys, shop with my boy Chick Smooth at chicksmooth.shop.
If you're an online course creator or you're thinking about becoming one, then listen up, because I just dropped my bulletproof business plan that I've used to transform thousands of clients.
Show your face. Show your face, please. You put sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at hookahAnonymous_. We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at hookahAnonymous_. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, I don't know what's been going on with Meek lately, but it was understanding when he said that everyone in Philly that hates him is clicking up and running hate campaigns. So they say that he's this and that, but it's really only because they jealous and or want to be in his position, or it's based off old drama that they had in the past. However, once it begin to be people that you was never into it with, or you was once friends with, or just don't have a reason to be envious of you, then it starts to become something different. It starts to become a situation where everyone can be wrong, right? It starts to become a situation where maybe you as a person need to do some self-reflecting and look in the mirror and ask yourself, well, what if it really is me and everyone isn't just bugging? Maybe I'm the one that's bugging. Now, I say that because recently a guy by the name of Mike Knox have recently called Meek Mill out and even offered Meek to drop his location in Philly so they can meet up. Ironic enough, Meek can't say that he's not in Philly because just yesterday when he was addressing the Wale and Dean picture, he told Dean that he was actually still in Philly for family reasons. Now, Meek also would take to his IG story to post a video of him driving through Philly, similar to the first time he did it when he got into it with Dean not too long ago. Now, honestly, when Meek does that, I don't know what's the point he's trying to prove, because I don't know too many millionaires that's willing to drive around Philly or any hood and post it just for the sake of proving that they're in the hood. I told y'all before that Meek is letting the drama trick him out his position, and he's letting guys that's aspiring to be where he's at make him scoop down to their level and entertain them. And I'm not saying that they want to be Meek or they want to be like him per se, but their main goal is to get out the hood and provide for their families legally. Meek did that already, but somehow he's still allowing the BS to drag him right back to the hood where they are for Lord knows what reason. And the crazy part about it is that if something was to happen to Meek, God forbid, everyone's first reaction is going to be, damn, y'all hate to see a black man winning. Or damn, a dude can't come back to his hood without people hating on him. Or all the rest of the foolishness people say after a rapper go to their hometown and lose their life. But those same people are literally watching Meek play with fire and not checking him about it. Right now, the same people that'll sit there and say that he was such a good guy, he didn't do nothing to nobody, he was just providing for his family, they're hating on him. They're watching him right now drive through Philly at crazy times of the day and not saying anything to him about it. Now, let me tell y'all, if you consider someone your friend and you see them doing something that's bogus, you're supposed to check them. And if you're in a position where you feel you can't check them or you're scared based on how they may react to you, then that's not your friend. You're supposed to be able to help your people and let them know when they tripping. If you see a friend crashing out and you know he or she is, and you're not saying anything about it, you are just as guilty. And you are a yes man. But I'm saying this from a supporter standpoint, because I do feel Meek say a lot of things that make sense on his Twitter, even though it may not be popular to the masses. But if you pay attention, Meek exposes a lot. Whether it's conspiracies or whatever. He's the voice that speaks against the machine when everyone is following suit. He's encouraging everybody to go left when everyone is going right. Right? But all of that becomes null and void when you do something that goes against all of that and make yourself look crazy. So I'll say all that to say this. I hope Meek stop letting these guys trick him out of his position and just live his life. He's in a position where guys shouldn't even be able to reach him or get a response. You think Jay-Z responded to anybody with something negative to say online? Right? But anyway, Mike Knox, who actually have been a cool associate of Meek throughout the years, has took to his Instagram to call out Meek over what seems to be a phone call that the two had. Whatever was said, Mike Knox didn't like it and told Meek that he got to see him and ask him to drop his location. Now, to be honest with you, when I seen that, I kind of wondered if they already had a conversation on the phone. Why did he take to social media to call out Meek? I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I understood it wrong, but we're going to get into it. For you guys that are sitting there thinking, well, who the hell is Mike Knox? Mike Knox is a well-known Philly rapper. I know he's affiliated with 50 Cent and G-Unit, and he has a solid reputation in the streets amongst Philly and Philly natives. Mike would take to his Instagram and since delete a post as he had something interesting to say addressing Meek in his caption. Now, we posted it to our Instagram when it occurred, but DJ Academics posted it as well, but he caught when Meek jumped in the comments and responded to Mike Knox before it was deleted. It got spicy. So let's get into what Mike Knox had to say. Before we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. And if you aren't already, make sure you subscribe to the platform now. Let's get into it. Mike Knox would take to his Instagram and post a picture and caption it saying, quote, "At Meek Mill, we always been cool and I always show you nothing but love and support. But today that stops. What you said on that phone to me yesterday, you're going to have to say that to my face. Don't stand behind your N-words and talk crazy because I don't need N-words behind me to stand on anything I say. Me and you can meet up anywhere, cut the block off, and figure this ish out today. I am in Philly all day. All I ever did was talk good about you on interviews and saluted you. I even stood up for you while everybody was talking crazy. I even told 50 Cent you was my man, and I even backed up off the N-word gunplay when you called me and asked me to. I never asked you for a dime or a favor. I don't know what's up with you, but we gotta figure this out. And you know I am not no B-word. I am moving around in Philly all day. Drop the location." Now, like I said earlier, it seems like they already had a phone call prior to everything. As I read that, I see that it was a day or two ago where these two had a phone call, obviously, and for some reason, Mike Knox thought it would be a good idea to actually bring it to social media now. I don't know why, but like I said earlier, if y'all had the phone conversation already, why mention this on social media? You know, if you actually want to see him and have him drop the location, why not just call him the same way y'all called each other before and set it up? You know, why come to social media? I don't know. Like I said, that's just me talking. Maybe it's a deeper reason behind it. Who knows? It just didn't make sense to me. But anyway, Mike Knox had another post that he actually kept up, where the caption seemed a bit cryptic and maybe directed towards Meek as well. He would say, quote, "One thing for sure about this industry, it's a lot of circles that quietly be on some ish. Meaning smile when they see you, act like they like you, and when you leave, talk crazy about you and try to downplay every move you're trying to make. I stay away from them circles because they will make me be the old Mike Knox and do some ish in front of everybody that would change everything for me. So I created my own circle and I am cool with that. Shout out to all the real ones that's in this ish. Call me MK." Now, when he says circles, once again, I don't know if he means the crowd with him and Meek Mill and the people they know, or if he's referring to 50 Cent, being that I know that he's a part of the G-Unit circle. Who knows? But it was a little cryptic. It can be interpreted that he's talking about Meek, 50, who knows? But I just felt that was prevalent to put it in there. Now, he also took to his story with something to say, and this one was directed towards Meek, as he would say, quote, "All I ever did was show N-words love, shaking my head." Now, I told y'all before, Academics were posted before the post got deleted, and it shows Meek responded in the post with Mike Knox. Meek will respond saying, quote, "And talk face to face. I'm in Philly now. I called you 10 times. Let's meet today." That was pretty much it after that. Like I told y'all, Mike Knox took the post down, so I don't know if they may have spoke and he felt the need to take it down after their conversation, or maybe he just didn't want to incriminate himself, or he thought about it. Maybe he was in his feelings when he made the post and he felt the need to take it down after. Who knows? However it goes, these two seem to have had a friendship before this. They both from Philly and know a bunch of the same people. So I hope they could patch whatever they got, going on and take it from there. Now, it also is crazy to me, y'all, because I always tell y'all, I never thought I'd see a time where a lot of the street guys who we know are street and, have been in the streets, they get on social media and do what they're doing. I'm not taking anything from him. I'm just saying it's just, crazy. The whole part where he said they had a conversation on the phone, but then he came to social media. Once again, I'm not sure how that went or why he did what he did. Maybe he wanted to put the pressure on me. Who knows? But y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out. Diddy's everything but a mentor. Now, he's a groomer who groomed Usher and ultimately Justin Bieber. Now, well known for his wild parties, the minors are not left out either.
Usher did have a situation, and that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bro, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember, Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy Camp. Y'all put it together.
And what you mean by Diddy Camp?
Remember? He was on one of the talk shows, the white guy with the curly hair. What's his name? The white guy with the curly hair. And he said, yo, would you send your son to Diddy Camp? And Usher said, no. Ask him why he won't send him to Diddy Camp. But yet and still you praise him.
Damn, man. And you said that, I know you can't go into detail, but you said that it was a situation where Diddy sent him to the hospital?
Let Usher explain that to you. Let Usher mama explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York.
Now that's one damning revelation. Unsurprisingly, Gene was right about Usher covering for Diddy. In an interview, Usher vividly recalled wild times while living with Diddy. Now his demeanor showed that he's deep into it and wouldn't reveal more than necessary.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor
some...
Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Now, he wouldn't send his kid, but he brought Justin Bieber in. And like the groomer Diddy is, it was Justin's turn. He was exposed to a lot of drinking as a teen, and people believed that he was raped multiple times at this party, too.
Welcome to the family, John.
Are you interested in starting your own faceless YouTube automation channel, but all people do is tell you to go to freaking Fiverr and Upwork and hire people to make rain sound videos, motivation videos, and all this other useless crap that just doesn't work? And all you want is someone to level with you.
Yeah, so as soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, go get the front shot in this.
Man.
Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16.
Now, Justin might have gone through lots of traumatic experiences with Diddy. Many speculate that he got out and distanced himself, which led to an awkward meeting the next time they, as it's called, did a number on Usher. He used to take 14-year-old Usher to wild parties, introducing him to a life of debauchery at such a young age. In a now-deleted live stream, Diddy slipped up and said he and Usher used to sleep together. Now, Puff tried to play it off and claimed that they wrestled over Frosted Flakes.
You know, Puff is making jokes about how they used to wrestle for the Frosted Flakes in the morning. And
Yeah, I bet they did.
you know,
Somebody frosted
You know-
somebody frosted somebody flakes. Without the milk.
what do you think it is that keeps Usher from coming out or saying anything?
Because, yo, dog, it's you got to realize in that industry, a lot of people are stand back and say, well, it happened to me. That's how some of them people pay their dues. And the people who don't go down like that don't be as great as the Ushers, as the Diddies. It's a way of passage to certain people in the entertainment business.
With all these people coming out against Diddy, do you think more people are going to come out?
It's a lot of people that, you got to realize is that everybody think, oh, everybody's coming out now. It's a lot of people that wanted to bring stuff out a long time ago, but the lawyers wouldn't take it. The lawyers wouldn't deal with it. Cassie opened up a floodgate for lawyers to look at people's cases now and say, yeah, we might could get some money out of that. We might could do that. Yeah, he did abuse you. Nobody really cared at first. But now they see that a lot of this stuff may have some truth to it and the people can be paid for it. They coming out.
Oh, yeah,
Puffy
this is
Flavor
it.
Camp?
Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead and play this. Watch
It's
it.
about
a minute, right? Yeah. Okay. Wait till the end, though.
To New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor
He's 13 at the time.
Adam, let us hear it. Go back 5
that's what
seconds, please. Go back, because what he called it right there is what's key. Go ahead.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to something
City.
called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor
some...
Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really.
Not really.
Hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was 13.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking
that's
place.
called rape.
And I didn't necessarily understand.
When you're 13.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your
Jodeci,
parents were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige.
Yeah, good
they
job.
didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
You're 13. Did you have to do any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And And do you have money?
How is that no? Like, how is that? But I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was 13
So
years
nobody
old.
tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking
that's
place.
called rape.
And I didn't necessarily understand.
When you're 13.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans. Jodeci, Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, good
they
job.
didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean? You're 13.
Did you have to doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat, or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than.
Am I hearing? Did he say doing Diddy? Did somebody say that?
Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans. Jodeci, Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, good
they
job.
didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean? You're 13.
Did you have to doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat, or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money?
How is that normal? Like, how is that normal at any time?
Do you have the part where they said, would you let your kids go there? He goes,
keep playing.
hell no.
Keep playing it, Rob, because I think it's at the end.
Yeah.
Per damn.
Yeah.
I had like,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
See?
Yeah,
What?
that's the thing. Right?
Concern.
I have kids. I don't even post. And then, the Twitter trolls will be, we're her kids. Well, I'm protecting them. And this is sad. I mean, this is sad. And this one with Bieber.
This is the
same
Bieber
thing.
one. Yeah.
Where are the parents?
Yeah, and which parent would say, you know what? We don't know you. We know that you're a celebrity. Go and hang out with this guy for weeks on end by yourself. And at what time, at what era is this cool?
In the most critical years, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. How is this, Alina?
They both
turn. How is this normal?
They both turn into superstars.
Yeah,
that's the sacrifice you make.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the sacrifice. But one of them had to go to church and he freaking lost his mind. Can you play this one? How's this?
You ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
What the?
I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So
Jesus.
Well, apparently Diddy don't discriminate because his son was named in the sexual abuse lawsuit. Now that can only mean one thing. He was grooming his own damn son too. The question is, how far is his limit?
It's about Diddy, but now things seem to be expanding to include his son, Christian King Combs, lawsuit filed against Diddy's son. I'm going to go through some of it, but what is really striking is some of the crossover and similarity between this lawsuit and the lawsuit that was filed against Diddy by Lil Rod, filed against Diddy and Cuba Gooding Jr. So let's take a look at the lawsuit against Diddy's son. The makeup, and this involves allegations of something that happened on a rented yacht. The makeup of the yacht quickly evolved from just defendants Combs and his family to include a constant rotation of suspected sex workers and other A-list celebrities such as French Montana and actor Cuba Gooding Jr. Diddy turned what was sold as a wholesome family excursion into a hedonistic environment. Now, if you go back to that lawsuit filed by Lil Rod had said that Diddy had sex workers and endless drugs flowing through the recording sessions at CRS, Mr. Combs' homes, and on the yacht, which Mr. Combs rented. And you may recall that photo of Cuba Gooding Jr. and Lil Rod. This is from the yacht. But the yacht is also connected to this new lawsuit against Diddy's son. Now, it continues. Plaintiff found it very suspicious that after one shot of De Leon tequila or one mixed drink, various women on the yacht would be falling over themselves, panicking or passing out. This led plaintiff, this is the plaintiff is the person suing, to reasonably believe that the alcohol given to these women was likely laced with drugs. In the lawsuit filed by Lil Rod, according to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs forced all women to drink laced De Leon liquor. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs laced the liquor with ecstasy. So you can see, again, some of these similarities. Let's get back to that lawsuit. Upon entering the recording studio, defendant Combs immediately started ordering that tequila shots be poured. Plaintiff began to become concerned when he insisted that she take shots of tequila he may have brought on board the yacht. At this point, the mood changed and things became sinister. Defendant Combs insisted that the plaintiff stay chatting and that she sit beside him. Defendant Combs violently grabbed plaintiff's arm and began hurting her. He pulled plaintiff to the seat beside him and prevented her from getting up. The lawsuit includes photos of bruising. Let's take a look at those photos. Part of the lawsuit, part of the alleged evidence of what happened. Now, the lawsuit continues. Luckily for the plaintiff, due to defendant Combs' insistence on Mr. Jones recording everything, Mr. Jones has an audio recording of defendant Combs drugging and sexually assaulting the plaintiff. That's the allegation. Same thing in the lawsuit filed by Lil Rod. Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to record him constantly on several occasions. Mr. Combs took Mr. Jones' cell phone and began recording himself. As a result, Mr. Jones has secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Mr. Combs, his staff, his guests engaging in serious illegal activity. So these allegations involve conduct, but not just conduct that is allegedly recorded.
Sex workers and perform sex acts to the pleasure of Mr. Combs. Unbeknownst to me, Mr. Combs had hidden cameras and audio devices in all of the rooms of his homes. I only discovered this several months into living with him when I had to pick up my Uber Eats delivery from the security office. Usually, the security would bring my food deliveries to me whenever I was in Mr. Combs' home, but at this point, I was close and familiar with the security, so they called me to their room and told me I could go in and retrieve my food myself. I saw 4 to 6 large flat-screen television monitors at the time. Each monitor had at least 20 to
Take the first step with curated lists. Modeled after some of the most iconic influencer programs ever built, Curated List is Grin's expert-led creator discovery solution. It's all the benefits of organic creator prospecting with none of the legwork.
30 little screens in them. Each screen was a view of a room in and surrounding Mr. Combs' home. Remember, Jones claims that he was sex trafficked, and if there is videos of this, and that's presented at a trial, that is significant evidence, to say the least. Now, Jones even listed out the document dates when he says he was forced to solicit sex workers for Combs. He also names a celebrity that we haven't really referenced yet, Chris Brown. Yeah, quote, on July 2nd, 2023, Mr. Combs had a listening party in his California home. There were a lot of people present at this party, including Chris Brown, Justin Combs, sex workers, and some underage girls. Justin Combs would typically bring the younger women to these parties. I have 2 videos of 2 different sex workers that Justin Combs brought with him to Chalice Recording Studios. I can provide the videos to the court. This event began at 7 p.m. Mr. Combs requested female sex workers and required me to solicit them. An hour later, several sex workers appeared. In addition to sex workers, there were at least 5 women in the crowd who appeared to be under the age of 16. Mr. Combs forced all the attendees to drink laced De Leon liquor. I believe Mr. Combs laced the liquor with ecstasy. I have personally witnessed his staff members, Brendan Paul and Moy Bawn, lace alcohol with ecstasy. And we remember Brendan Paul was actually arrested on drug charges during the raid on Diddy's properties. But Jones continues, quote, "The presence of what I perceived to be underage women made me very uncomfortable. I attempted to leave, and Mr. Combs forced me to stay. I had my car keys in my book bag. I have never lost my keys, and Mr. Combs went so far as to take my car keys to prevent me from leaving. After being forced to drink laced DeLeon shots, I began feeling lightheaded and I passed out. I remember waking up at 4 a.m. the following morning naked with a sex worker sleeping next to me." In his complaint, Jones had previously mentioned a similar event and describes it in this declaration as well, writing, quote, "On February 2nd, 2023, I believe Mr. Combs drugged me. I remember waking up naked, dizzy, and confused. I was in bed with 2 sex workers and Mr. Combs. I also recall aimlessly wandering around the house with no clothes on. I have photos of the sex workers sleeping on the bed the morning after. I can provide it to the court if necessary." And from there, Jones explains in this declaration some of the things he says that Combs offered him, which is important in a sex trafficking case, that you were transported over state lines, forced to perform sex acts, and were promised something of value. That's the commercial element of commercial sex acts. Quote, "Mr. Combs promised me many things to entice me to continue engaging in his sex trafficking operation. On multiple occasions, we discussed winning Grammys for the Love album. He promised I would win the Grammy for Producer of the Year for the Love album. He offered me $250,000 to purchase all the instruments I wanted. He promised me ownership of his $20 million property, One Star Island in Miami, Florida. He promised to give me access to record label executives." And from there, Jones gives more details about an alleged assault that happened in Miami. He says that while using the restroom, young Miami's cousin burst into the bathroom and began groping him. Quote, "I honestly believe that Mr. Combs sent her in there to sexually assault me, as I could hear him and the other guest laughing outside the door. As she entered the bathroom, she dropped to her knees and began performing oral sex on my exposed penis. I pushed her away and exited the bathroom. Young Miami's cousin did not accept my rejection and followed me out of the bathroom. She started undressing in front of everyone and attempted to straddle me and have sex with me in the presence of Mr. Combs and his staff. They were all laughing." So much to make sense of in these Diddy lawsuits. It can get a bit complicated. Not going to lie to you, talking about all these civil claims, but let me call out Morgan & Morgan right now. Why? Because they are specialists in this area. The largest injury law firm in America, our proud sponsor here on Sidebar. I always love talking about Morgan & Morgan because they're all about fighting for the compensation you deserve should you get injured in these kinds of cases. That means not settling for lowball insurance offers. As such a big firm, they aren't afraid to take on these big insurance companies, and that means taking a case to trial if it's necessary. And your injury, by the way, could be worth millions of dollars. I'll give you an example. Recently, they have secured verdicts of $6.8 million in New York, $12 million in Florida, and $26 million in Philly. All, by the way, higher than the highest insurance offers in these cases. Morgan & Morgan, they make it so easy for their clients to get started and navigate this process because it can all be done from your smartphone. From submitting your claim to talking to your legal team, seeing if you have a case only takes a few minutes. So if you're injured, you could start by easily submitting a claim at forthepeople.com/LC sidebar or by dialing pound law. That's pound 529 on your phone. Jones also talked about Combs' sometimes violent personality. Quote, "Mr. Combs often switched his approach to force me to obey and comply with his demands. On multiple occasions, he would threaten me with physical harm. Mr. Combs threatened to eat my face and inform me that he was willing to kill his mother to get what he wanted so he wouldn't think twice about harming me." That is something that we heard in the prior complaint as well. Quote, "Mr. Combs would also make me work out of this bedroom whenever he had gang members and drug dealers visit him. I have witnessed Mr. Combs hand out guns from the hidden room in his bedroom closet. I have witnessed known gang members at his home in LA and Miami be paid from the stacks of cash he has in the hidden room in his bedroom closet." Jones says that Combs was very aware of the power he had and made sure that everyone around him knew it too. Quote, "Throughout my time living with Mr. Combs, he made it very clear that he did not spend his money on anything. He made it clear that he had partnerships and relationships with very powerful individuals and organizations, and these individuals and organizations funded his lifestyle." And then the declaration from Jones also rebuts claims by Universal Music Group, a defendant in his lawsuit. Jones writes, quote, "My counsel informed me that UMG claims that they did not pay for sex workers or sponsored any of the club love parties or the writers' camp. These claims are contradicted by the reality I saw with my own eyes. There were employees of UMG and Motown present at the writers' camp, at listening parties, and after parties. I was told by Mr. Combs they were there, and I saw them there. Mr. Combs told me they were scouting for talent. As it pertains to the sex workers, they also paid for them. I have several videos of the Chalice recording studio sessions, as well as in-home recording sessions, and there are sex workers and producers in the studio. The sex workers in these videos were the only individuals paid. So again, this is his account, right? If he backs it up by receipts, photos, screenshots, it's important. It's important. And these are very, very serious claims. And now he's doubling down on this court filing, saying that in this unsworn declaration that he can prove it. Now, I will tell you that Jones, he also provides multiple photos in the lawsuit of men and women inside a recording studio. Jones claims that the women in these photos are sex workers. And the declaration goes on to talk about the bragging that Combs allegedly did to Jones, that he lists out several stories Combs allegedly told him. Quote, Mr. Combs bragged about having Daphne Joy, the child mother of a competing rapper, on payroll as one of his sex workers. I have a video of Mr. Combs on a massage table receiving a massage from a professional masseuse while Daphne Joy is giving him a foot massage. Mr. Combs bragged about shooting a woman in the face in 1999 in New York City and getting away with it. He bragged about departed attorney Johnny Cochran's savvy legal skills and ability to pay off the witnesses through private investigators and other third parties. He bragged about having Jennifer Lopez carrying his gun into the club the night of the shooting and the fact that he had so much power and influence over her at the time. He bragged about getting Shine to take the heat for the shooting and the fact that he paid Shine through a record deal with his good friend L.A. Reid. And it doesn't end there, because he also says that, quote, Mr. Combs also informed me that only poor people pay taxes. He shared that it is a common practice in the music industry to wire money from anonymous accounts overseas. This way, if there is ever a need to take care of a problem, it would never be traced back to him. These accounts were in Germany. At the very end of the document,
Sending gift cards in bulk can be a nightmare. Tremendous is a platform that takes the stress out of sending payouts like Visa, PayPal, and
Jones says, quote, I could share other things, but I do not feel comfortable putting them in this document. I will be willing to discuss them with the court under seal to preserve my Fifth Amendment rights. Now, a lot to take in there. This just doubles down my belief that he is a cooperating witness with the government in this potential criminal investigation. I have to believe it. And if he is one of the witnesses that's cooperating and federal authorities raided these properties, they have to be taking what he's saying is true, and maybe they're corroborating what he is saying through evidence that was seized from Combs' properties. Okay, so a lot to take in, but we also want to tell you quickly about a new letter that Jones' attorney filed with the court after accusations that this attorney was being too salacious with his court filings. I'm talking about Tyrone Blackburn. He's one of the lawyers representing Rodney Jones and Grace O'Markey in their lawsuits against Sean Combs, Christian Combs, and others. United States District Court Judge for the Southern District of New York, Denise Coate, submitted a referral to the New York Federal Court Grievance Committee claiming that issues with Blackburn in 5 cases. She wrote, quote, significant resources have been spent by judges of the court and defendants named in actions he has filed to address glaring deficiencies in his filings. A referral to this court's grievance committee is warranted. She goes on to write, a reasonable inference from Blackburn's pattern of behavior is that he improperly files cases in federal court to garner media attention, embarrass defendants with salacious allegations, and pressure defendants to settle quickly. Indeed, his submissions to this court have been rife with disturbing allegations against the defendants and defense counsel. Now, other lawyers have also criticized Mr. Blackburn as well. Combs' attorney Sean Hawley alleged that Blackburn ignored exonerating evidence, writing, quote, our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones' attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored, as Mr. Blackburn refuses to return our calls. We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them. Then, attorneys for UMG, Universal Music Group, one of the defendants who are also being sued by Rodney Jones for their alleged participation and facilitation of the abuse and trafficking claimed by Jones, they argued, UMG, that the claims presented by Jones were, quote, so offensively false. One of those lawyers, Donald Sakaran, said, quote, A license to practice law is a privilege. Mr. Blackburn, plaintiff's lawyer, has misused that license to self-promote, gratuitously, falsely, and recklessly accusing the UMG defendants of criminal behavior. Well, Mr. Blackburn is firing back. He is not taking that lying down. No, he wrote a letter to Judge J. Paul Oetken, a judge for the Southern District of New York, where Jones' lawsuit against Combs is currently filed. And he begins by saying, quote, "At the onset, I apologize for wasting the court's time by having to read a letter that has nothing to do with the matters before your honor." He goes on to say that the defendants have, quote, "decided to scrummage through Pacer," that, by the way, is the online court record, "in search of anything to distract and deflect from the blatantly obvious fact that they cannot defend their actions as it relates to their business partnership with Sean Combs." He continued, quote, "I do not improperly file cases in federal court to garner media attention, embarrass defendants with salacious allegations, and pressure defendants to settle quickly. I gain no benefit from filing cases in federal court over state court, and I am not an ambulance-chasing attorney who lives in front of a camera. Before filing any case, I always provide an opportunity for private resolution. If this case cannot be resolved privately, then I file. I do not pursue media attention. With this case alone, I have been inundated with invitations to appear on television shows, podcasts, and radio shows, both nationally and internationally, and I have rejected them all." Then he says this, bold and underlined, quote, "Although I pick my clients, I do not pick their facts. If a client comes to me with a complaint of sexual assault and she or he has evidence to support their claims, it is my duty to include all materials relied upon in drafting the complaint into the pleading." And then he cites some case law to support that. But remember, one of the things that we called out in the complaint is how there were these screenshots of videos, photos, copies of text, receipts for trips, and so forth. Blackburn goes on to end the letter with, quote, "Finally, a referral is not a sanction. My pleadings in this district have consistently comported with the standard established pursuant to Rule 8 of the FRCP and the standard established by the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. If defendants are concerned about having a salacious claim filed against them, they should not engage in salacious acts. It was the defendant's choice to enter a general business partnership with Sean Combs, which funded his sex trafficking operation." Quite an update in this case, and stay with us here. We're going to keep bringing these updates for you and keep breaking them down for you. That's all we have for you here on Sidebar. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jesse Weber. I'll speak to you next time.